to stay inside. It's too hot to go outside. I said to myself, I said, they're 55 years too late. They never told us that. But they're saying that now. And it lasted one day. So he had to stay home. So we would pick cotton, you don't get off at 3 o'clock in Mississippi. It was sun to sun. And when we got home out of the cotton fields, Emmitt was ready to go somewhere. Wednesday night, he wanted to go to a little town called Money. My brother Maurice driving. My brother Robert, we called him the resident genius. He wanted to stay home and listen to the radio, Gunsmoke, gangbusters. He didn't go nowhere. We know. My nephew, he also traveled to Mississippi with Emmitt. He was in the car with us. Roosevelt Crawford, young man who now lives in Detroit, was with us. We drove to the little town, Maurice parked the car, and we got out. We went in the store. Then Emmitt went in behind him. Wheeler came out. Maurice sent me in immediately to be in there with him, to make sure that he didn't say anything or do anything that he shouldn't. He paid for his items. We both left the store at the same time. I know what Mrs. Bryant said. She said that Emmitt put his arms around her, asked her for a date. I think he said something like this: "What's the matter? I've been with white girls before." That never happened. But that's what she said in the court. She wasn't under oath, of course, because they can go back and try her for perjury. But they made a deal with the prosecutor and the judge. Of course, they all was white. We walked out of the store. She came out behind us later. We were standing by the door. See the store there. We're standing it'll be on your right now. We're standing there. She passed her going to her car. And Emmitt whistled at her. He did whistle. It scared us half to death. We couldn't get out of town fast enough. I know if you listen to the other expression, it make you think that we were there 2 or 3 hours, less than 20 minutes. I was talking to my brother. He said a young lady said she was driving our car. If any of you have seen Keith Beauchamp film, there's a young lady on there that's trying to hide her face. They asked me why she's hiding her face. I said, if I were lying like her, I would hide my face. I said, she wasn't with us. But she's telling everybody she was driving our car. And then she parked our car under the hill. But she won't tell me that. My brother Maurice was driving. He went about 2 miles after we ran out of town. We saw someone behind us. We thought it was Roy Bryant chasing us. Maurice stopped the car. Everybody got out of the car except me. They ran down through the cotton fields. I lay down in the back seat. It was just a neighbor going home. But when they all got back to the car, Emmitt begged us not to tell Daddy what happened. He said, please, don't tell Uncle Moses. He didn't want to go home because we were having so much fun. There are times in your life that if it was possible, I know it's not possible, but you might come back and say, we went to the city and we had 6 months worth of fun. If we can describe it like that in one day, that's how much fun he was having. And he didn't want to go home. And we kept quiet. We didn't tell because, number one, we wasn't too familiar with the Jim Crow system. We didn't know that white folks were that low down. We just didn't know. My parents knew. But the kids didn't know. It never entered our mind that he would be killed for whistling. But that's what he did. And we kept quiet. But the same girl that said she was driving our car, she did warn us, said, we know these people. We're going to hear some more from them. But Thursday passed, nothing happened. Friday passed, nothing happened. Saturday, we forgot about the whole incident. We spent most of the day getting ready to go to Greenwood. That was about 10 miles to the south of us, the county seat, big city. We would go to the movies. We would have a wonderful time. We would cross the two rivers. We would go down Grand Boulevard. I don't know what city you are from. But Grand Boulevard got the mansions, beautiful homes that we built. They took our labor and built mansions. So how did they do that? You ever hear the loaded P sliding scale? They put an extra weight on it. If you pick 100 pounds, they only register 70. That's how they cheated us. And some of the people, they work all year. And the man would say, John, I'm sorry. You didn't make any money. You came out in the hole. You actually owed me. So we couldn't get out. But I have a question. Maybe some of you all can answer that question. I used to tutor math, and I know that 2 times 0 is still 0. How could they take 50% of nothing and build those mansions? That's what they said. We didn't make any money. When you share property, you make 50%. They split it 50%. How can they take 50% of nothing and build those mansions? I still can't figure that out. But they did. That's the Jim Crow system. That's what I try to tell our young people. Let me tell you about Jim Crow. I know you heard it's separate but equal. It's more than that. Under the Jim Crow system, you had separate education. You didn't have a right to vote. And you didn't have equal protection under the law. And they used that system to keep us subservient to them, to work for free. And as I look at things today, it look eerily similar. We're going back there. Our young people, somehow someone has told them they don't need an education. They think they can go through high school and get out and compete with the other expression. This will never work. We have to learn our young people. You must get an education. This is one thing my mother stressed. I want my children to have an education. She pleaded with my dad in Mississippi. He said he wasn't going to leave. He said, I was born and bred here, and I would die here. But he was a strong black man. Someone said, why didn't he retaliate? The chips was down. When he opened the door, when the men knocked on my dad's door, they were standing there with a gun. There was nothing he could do. But when he got himself together, when he went to the sheriff, he stood his ground.